All right.
Hello.
Hello and welcome, everybody. This is our living room.
Yeah.
We're on the couch. We are not at the gym, and we're not at the gym because of really cool, fun reasons. We've said it a couple times, but just in case you missed it, the metal corrugating, the corrugated metal, that's what I'm trying to say. The wonderful, pretty silver galvanized steel corrugated metal sheeting that's going on in the front of the gym above the windows that's going to cover up the ugly spray foam is happening right now. And it's going to take them about a week to finish. They started yesterday, and that's kind of cool. So that's fun. It's a good use of time having the gym be closed anyway. So now it's a good opportunity to roll back all the rubber flooring, get the lifts in there. They're doing their thing, and then we'll be back again soon. So
Yeah.
in the meantime, we're using this to do some fun stuff that we've been interested in doing, but haven't really had the opportunity to do. And this is kind of a fun, nice excuse. So today we're not working out, we're not running around, we're not doing crazy stuff. Today we are talking about how to redesign the gym and looking at different options and trying to piece together different things. We've acquired some more bars since the last time we did a layout redesign.
Oh yeah, that's really true. Like
Yeah.
not twice as many, but a lot.
Yeah. And so that's new. And then I think also the other issue that was always in the back of our minds is that we've always known since moving in that the corrugated metal had to get installed. And we were never quite sure when that was actually going to take place, which meant that we needed to keep the left side of the gym with the back door all the way to the front. We had to keep that accessible.
So we avoided putting a semi-permanent structure there.
Right, because we had no idea if at any point in time the building manager would just be like, hey, the metal's in, we're going to bring the lifts in and do all that work. And,
yeah.
And then go,
and then have
well,
to tear down at the very last minute, and it'd be very stressful, so we opted to not build there.
Right.
So now, theoretically, when the metal's done, it should only be a catastrophe. Not that we've had many of those. But theoretically, only a catastrophe would make it to where we'd have to have that sort of stressful moment of tear down at 11 o'clock at night in time for 6 a.m. or something.
Yeah, that wouldn't be fun. That wouldn't be good. So
also, Joel's in stream.
Yo, what up? Good to have you. Yeah, so this is we're just gonna be. This is a chill stream. If you wanna grab, we got tea.
We got tea.
Feel free to get your own drink and hang out and chill out. We're gonna be doing some SketchUp modeling.
Yeah.
And just kind of floating ideas and seeing what we got and trying to make your dreams come true.
Pause and stream. Hi.
What up, Paul? So let's go ahead and switch this over.
Okay, go into SketchUp mode.
And then welcome. This is the gym. And so this is the entire gym in SketchUp. This is something that we created. Whoops. I hope I didn't just tap something. Okay, cool.
It's already a disaster.
I use hotkeys to switch all my stuff, but I don't know if those hotkeys exist in OBS because that was technically active when I clicked it, but I think we're good.
What does he mean? A vertical pole sticking out of the roof? Like that's your suggestion? Or that we have that?
I don't know.
Those are the I-beams.
Yeah, so we created this when we knew that we were moving into this space, and as everything evolved and transitioned.
I hear like my phone was vibrating.
Yeah, right.
Yours?
That was
I don't
weird.
have my phone in here.
But yeah, so when we transitioned, this was how we were kind of planning out the original layout of the gym. It had to change a couple times as the architects came through and kept cutting out space, and this is eventually what we came up with. However, the cool thing about doing stuff with the SketchUp model was that this is essentially it's digital Legos. We're going to be piecing together. We can build whatever we want without physics, and then we have to obviously understand whether or not what we designed is possible with physics. So that would be cool. This is as pretty true to form as best as possible. It is to scale, so there are a couple design elements that obviously we can't get around. The I-beams we can't get around. Those are what they are, right? obviously the lounge is staying exactly the same. All the large objects like downtown,
Pictured.
the rock, the warped wall and the tunnel, those stay the same. But big elements that can change are obviously all of the bar cages. The tube can change, the column can
TV
change.
box.
Right. And all of those can get...
He's really big on using alternative language.
I never liked calling it the TV box.
It was good for the kids.
Sure, but it
is
like,
a tube,
it
though,
just
you're
takes
right.
so long to say.
I know.
And it's like TV box.
I know, you can't just say TV.
Right. That's the weird thing. But yeah, and then we inventoried every single bar.
In our closet.
Yeah, every single bar.
Show them the closet.
And this is our...
This is our quote-unquote closet.
Whoa.
Our virtual closet.
This is our digital closet with all of our bars. We have to literally like zoom all the way in order to see them all. This is quite a few bars.
Yep. Quite
a lot. And yeah, so we've got everything ranging from 21-foot bars all the way down to these little itty bitty 4 1 foot bars.
Joel says no TV is shaped that way anymore, and Paul agrees, not a good mouthfeel. See, but when we did a fundraiser,
it's not a good mouthfeel.
When we did the fundraiser, we had everybody named things, and as you know, the internet or the general public, it gets out of hand sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this is going to be good. This is essentially our digital closet. Whenever we use a bar, we're just going to take it from here, put it out there, and that way we don't accidentally design something that we can't build.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, with that said...
So keeping in mind that the column box, the big 8-foot box that's dark brown, and then TV are floating objects, and right now, if you turn the view...
So, like, this can go wherever we want it.
But turn the view and show them sleeping 6 foot.
Oh, I moved it.
Oh!
It's gone.
Okay.
And it's gone.
Sleeping 6 foot could be considered structural sometimes. So that is like but you
Right.
don't want to do that.
No, I'm totally fine with it. Same with Wally. Wally. Mm-hmm. Oh, I don't.
We didn't build Wally.
Oh, I can build Wally really fast.
He'll do it fast, but not yet. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, Jens, hi.
But yeah.
Now I get tired of using the other interpretation of bar.
Bar.
No. So keep in mind that for if you have suggestions on what to build and it needs to be structural, even though these are semi-permanent, we have to orient them around these large objects that we just mentioned so that it creates weight enough. Because having just a floating bar cage, we do for special events if we go off-site. But in the gym, it's just not structural enough. And when Trevor does his big ol' jumps or if Joel does his power under bars, we've got problems.
Power bar. Okay.
Oh, Joel says if you're not doing another fundraiser with naming or if you're doing another fundraiser with naming privileges, let me know. Gotcha. You'll be the first I call. I feel like giving you that power could be really good or really bad.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
You'd have to play nice.
So sometimes when we design stuff, I kind of just move things aimlessly and kind of see whether or not it like sparks interest.
Yeah.
If anything sparks your interest, let us know because ultimately we're
on the fundraiser. Paul says, make it an auction, outbidding people to name stuff. Oh my gosh, Paul, where were you so many years ago? That would have been so much better. We just did tiers. We did like if you donated a certain amount for the tier, but an auction. Make sure there are some bars positioned for the Italian job. Okay, so concrete needs. We need hip high variability for Italian jobs. We need a 5-foot high bar for power underbars that has room around it so that we can do a explosive distance underbar. Those are 2 specific requests so far.
Cool.
Yeah. How many people would love to compete to name their favorite object? I believe a lot. I think that you're really smart. Good job. I wish that we had done that. So I'm gonna like file that away for the future. Okay, I feel like 6-foot high and 7-foot high bars. Not 6 foot, ignore me. 7-foot high bars I feel like we were missing in this setup.
6 foot high?
No, 7 and a half. So like
7.5 was exactly what we had in the front bar cage.
I know, No. Was it?
Almost exactly 7.5
Oh, man.
feet.
Okay, I felt like we didn't have that. This is where it becomes thrilling.
So
Where we
like,
play.
part of me just wants to do something just funky and stupid, and then see if we can design around it.
Well, I was thinking, well, hold on. Let's wait. Go back. Before you get funky and stupid. I feel like some realities that we have to contend with. Behind the rock, I think that having a bar cage that was as tall as it was not really that helpful, because
Yeah, I agree.
it was very limited, the direct, like you really only could swing out this way. So then if you don't keep that area very clear, that wasn't very useful. So I don't think a really tall bar, I guess that's interesting. I don't know. I'm nervous about really, really tall there. I feel like having a shorter bar cage back there could be more valuable.
If we do one bar.
Yeah, then it's good for that direction and that direction. What about putting either, I'm so bad at reading today, I'm sorry. What about putting either a bar cage or the air track near the window? Oh, so moral of the story, air track is going where it's going. It will never move the end.
Yeah, that's...
So that, we won't change that because of lots of reasons, such as art Nerf events, birthday parties, it being able to be out of the way and not have to move and not be a hazard and all of these things. No. So the air track will always stay there, yeah. So these are things that, as we discuss, are in our brain when we're planning, and so now they'll become slowly into your brain, and we'll share them. But yes, so the air track stays in the back. It doesn't get torn down very often, and so we have to make sure that we're accounting, or rather that we're discouraging the desire to do a huge lache backflip onto the air track.
12 feet ain't bad.
And then going back to what you were saying, Paul, I really want a bar cage that's visible through the front window. So that is, I would really enjoy that, because I feel like right now when you look through the front window, your brain doesn't really understand what it's looking at when it sees vault boxes. They kind of just are a barrier, and there's not a lot of depth. And I think that seeing the boxes through the bar cage would create a lot of depth and be very visually interesting. So I wouldn't want to put like TV box blocking that view. I think I'd really like a bar cage coming off this side of the city in that area. And then maybe using like the sleeping 6 foot to help anchor it, because then it's not such a huge footprint impact. I think that could be cool. Devin's saying, can you put a bar perpendicular to that one going to the blue pillar? Probably 20 minutes ago, sorry.
Fine.
Oh, there you go. So he wants to know if it can be perpendicular. We can't attach anything to the pillar.
I can't attach it to the pillar,
because we cannot degrade the the integrity of the pillar by drilling into it.
Right. So that... Oops. Whoops. Over.
So he's saying for a bar stride from the rock to the city. Oh, so hi, Devin.
Hi, Devin.
Oh, Joel's suggesting clear glass boxes are an easy solution to my visual problem.
Oh, really?
No. Hi. Okay, so perpendicular to the one going to the blue pillar. I don't know what he means. What does he mean this way? There's not one going to a blue pillar right now. Perpendicular would be what you did?
Perpendicular to this one, I assume, is what he means.
Clarification.
So, like, if there were a bar that went from here and spanned out, but again, we can't attach it to it.
We could put...
So...
We could put the... I mean, that would be really tight. But I thought I was thinking if we put column there as like a faux buddy, and then the column... Not the column. The pillar prevents the column from shifting, which it's very prone to doing.
Right. So the... Yeah, going out to the I-beam will be a challenge. What I just did is not great, because when you put a bar, basically this is a 12-foot span from the city to the rock. And this would be an 8-foot high bar, which is intriguing, and we rarely have spans that are that long. With the bars that we are using, we cannot span or have any one length be really it's 7 feet. What?
So one, keep in mind that Devin doesn't really understand how big the space is between the rock and the city box because he's never seen it, because he hasn't been in the new space yet.
That's true.
Because when you visited, it was under construction, and we peered
right.
in on the stepladder over the window. I remember. Okay, so to put it in perspective, between the rock and the column, you can barely shimmy a 4-foot box lengthwise. So if you turn it the skinnier side, it pulls through easy. But that is like almost essentially 4 feet.
This is 4.5 feet essentially.
Yeah. So that's 4.5 feet on that side. I believe it's about the same on the other side. So we made sure that we could shove the 4-foot boxes through all of these alleys to not run into problems of having to move things so far away. He said he was really sad about the peering. He was also suggesting, and then that's where it sort of linked into what you were about to explain. So we can't have spans of bars greater than 6 feet. It's not structural. So we'd have to drop, and 6 feet's pushing it. So we'd have to drop a vertical. When you drop a vertical, you're essentially creating a corner of sorts, and so there's tons of sway and like shake. So
deflection.
Deflection. Thank you. And so then you'd have to get like triangles into those corners to make them more sturdy, or you'd have to attach them to the larger objects. So I think if we were to drop, he was suggesting dropping a vertical near the column.
Gotcha.
Which, yes, but then it would need to be supported. So either you're cutting all of your swinging ability because of those angles having to be there. So with what is essentially a 4 to 5 foot space, you're cutting half of that with the angle. So that's the tricky part. And also, y'all, let us know if we don't explain things very well, because again, there's a lot of prior knowledge in us not only doing this 20 million times, but also, I guess that's it. Just the fact that we've done this a lot with practical experience. Okay. Whoa, I'm behind. Hold on. Okay, so he says, attach a bar parallel to the high bar you have on the front side of the rock, and then build a ladder going from the rock to the city. Joel asks, is there a possibility of new boxes simulating a standard wheelchair ramp access? Practicing those in the gym should be a safe trial for real-world ones. What? Devin says, I really just want bar strides from city to rock. Yeah. Charlie also really wants that. That's something that we tried to design in, but we did not have enough time to really figure it out, and we also didn't have as many bars then. So he's on that page. Yeah. Okay, so then Joel says, I guess we could just do that one. I guess we could just do that one, the one in the anter room? Disregard. I'm so confused.
What's happening, y'all? What's happening?
He's speaking a different language. I don't know.
Okay, but then if we make this bar Lachey bar, or an underbar, if we do that.
And then there's this power underbar. Are you going to be freaked out,
it's like
Joel, by
6 feet?
the overhang being partly there? Because that would be, we'd always keep this city alley fairly open. Devin says, this is a good exercise in description legibility. Yeah, I'll do my best. And then Joel has switched to Russian. Not helpful. Maybe I could do German a little, maybe. Jens, jump in there. What did you say? Okay. This is schwer. I don't remember what schwer is. It is something. Okay, no, those wheelchair access ramps. But you guys already have one. What are you talking about? Wheelchair access ramps? Oh, like in the vestibule. So you want to simulate like an outdoor experience to train on that you would have in real life in the outdoors, which would be like the handicap ramp with all the bars. Is that the correct interpretation? Difficult. Schwer is difficult or heavy. Okay. Thank you for my German refresher. Okay. Devin says, I really want to turn this into an online game so everyone can actively move things. Then it would be chaos.
I mean, if you have... If you set up your own SketchUp, I believe that I can...
Share it.
Share it.
I don't feel super comfortable if there's editing privileges. If it's copy.
No. Like it would be their own copy.
Perfect.
Let's find out.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Okay. I was correct in my Joel interpretation. And that already exists in that we have the ramp that we made off of the skateboard ramp? Maybe?
I feel like you can share.
Joel says something about an Untitled Goose Game PC app.
You can export it as an STL.
Just make good and sure that it will not actually edit the original file. You know what I mean? It's
Right.
a lot of work that has gone into that.
Download the model as a SketchUp file. Is that? Yeah, that's what I wanted to do.
An annoying goose just grabs your mouse and moves windows around. Oh, I do that when I remote in.
Okay, so this is a SketchUp file.
Charlie was live streaming and I needed him to pay attention to something that was really important once, like back in real life, before it became not real life during the shutdown. And he was doing his Nerf stream, and so he was like totally focused, and I needed a response to something, and it was time sensitive, so I literally remoted in, and I took the mouse, and I was like shaking it around, and then I opened a window, and I was typing to him, and on stream he was like, what is that? Oh, hold on, guys. It was funny.
Your files are too powerful. No.
What does that mean?
It's too big. How big is this file?
Probably big if it's a actual SketchUp file.
Oh, it's only 17 megs. Oh, actually, I can do this.
He's trying to share it on Discord.
I think that would be cool, because then you can't.
I'm
Because
the goose.
SketchUp is free.
Yes.
So.
Again, are you positive that it is not somehow editing this file?
No.
It's a copy.
It's a copy.
It's totally a copy.
I am giving them the file, and they can play around with it on their account as much as they want. It does
Perfect.
nothing to our account.
Awesome. Stay tuned, Devin. We're working on it.
I don't know my password to this other account, though. Oh, that's not going to help me either.
Okay. So while he's figuring stuff out, so the ladder that he just created on the column box is still not complete because there's only supports going to one side of column, and if you do anything to it, jump to cat, anything, it's going to pivot and it will torque the bars, and that's not good, and bend the bars. So we would need to develop another connection point. So I guess we could send a bar off of it to the east wall, and then, but then we wanted to not have TV be in that back corner again. So, and I don't think Sleeping 6 Foot is sturdy enough to prevent that, because 6 Foot is also prone to the tweakage. Okay. We're all going to open our own parkour gyms now. Thanks, suckers.
Haha!
No.
Yeah, have fun.
YouTube phone comments are hard? Why? Okay, Devin says just toss the SketchUp in the old 3D printer.
I just control.
That
Why
would
does
be cool.
copy paste not work? Makes no sense.
You want your bag out?
Yes, please. Yay! There we go. All right, I'm gonna upload this to Discord once I fill out this CAPTCHA.
It'll take 20 minutes. Which ones are the road signs? Help. Okay. Oh, it erases his typos weirdly.
I hate that Discord has to send you a notification every time you try to
Liz
log in with
Ray.
a different IP address. Goodness. You gonna let me log in now? Yay! There we go.
I just saw your comment on Facebook, Liz, if you're still there.
Okay, I am uploading this file to the Discord, so you can download it. You can create your own SketchUp account, and then you should be able to import this to SketchUp, I believe.
Any chance of a zip line? Asked Joel. No.
No.
Use voice writing. I feel like
Get
voice
out.
writing is always worse, Jens. But maybe not. We were playing around with Google Home. We pretty much only use it to check the weather and to add things to the grocery list. And so we were curious on, I remember I said something that was very poorly pronounced and she got it, man. She was on top of that. So we've started experimenting with like how strangely we could say things. Sage was a difficult one.
I remember people were saying they wanted stuff on the top of the tunnel.
Like
So I'm gonna do
full cage on the top of the tunnel?
not a full cage, but just like interesting stuff.
Oh, we were considering putting a cage on the side of the warped wall to assist in accessing the tunnel as well.
Right, yeah.
But it would essentially be like a cage built off, like
Let's
a
do that one.
L-shaped cube portion.
Yeah.
Off the, yeah, let's play with that.
So we want... I feel like a 16's too long, but I guess we could test that out. I don't actually know if a 16's too long.
Can you make this go back to monitoring?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay.
Jens wants a sniper's nest for Nerf with some fatal weakness.
You don't need to ask me twice.
Joel says he's currently walking/jogging and want to avoid yelling things like Mount Power Beavis again. I'm confused. Because that's what it did your typo as. Gotcha. I mean, if you say something weird, we'll just now assume that it's a typo, so there you go. I'm not actually giving you that permission. Never mind.
So if a bar were to overlap that much, is that bad?
I mean, it means that we won't, how high is that bar?
I mean, we can make it whatever we want, but...
It would need to fit boxes underneath it.
Really?
Because it would be, otherwise we'd have to walk clear around every time.
Oh, I guess you're right.
Because it wouldn't, you're going to have to drop something there.
So this is a no-go, I should do the 12?
Is that a 16?
Yeah, it's a 16.
Yeah, do the 12. I think it would be more valuable to have the corner of the tunnel catable, climbable, than to have a random bar sticking out.
Okay.
Any other thoughts on that? That would also be a 5-foot high bar, but it would not give Joel his explosive, what do I want to say, freedom that I think he desires. Calm. Not the calm, because of the ivy.
So that's what would happen here, which is interesting, I guess. So if we, let's see.
Jens wants you to put a little Devin in there so there's a size reference. There is one in the front. See? He's bringing him over. There you go. It's actually pretty close to Devin. Whoa, Devin got really tall.
He's standing on the bar.
Ah, okay. Good job balancing, Devin.
Wow, you're so good
You're
at
so
balancing.
good at it. You're awesome. How tall is that person?
I think this person's 5'10".
Okay, so we made them slightly taller.
Apparently, his name is Josh.
Ah! Josh is not 5'10".
I didn't name it. I pulled it from the internet. So.
None of us are 5'10".
We could make a Brian Prince sized one.
No, that would be totally It would be very difficult to understand. It would not be a true banana, if you will.
No?
No. Brian Prince is so tall.
Okay. How far out do you think a bar should go? 4 feet?
Devin is actually 5'10". Perfect. We're going to just rename him Devin. There you go. He's our buddy Devin.
Oh, I can't. Oh, well.
Well, in our hearts, he's Devin. We can't officially name him Devin, but it's official.
How far should it go? 4 feet?
High?
No, 4 feet out from the tunnel.
Yeah. Can it? What's the... Ooh, I don't think we have that dimension. I would have to assume that span is actually 4 feet.
What span's 4 feet?
From the tunnel edge to the warped wall.
Right, this can move.
That there's a connection point.
Yeah.
Right, because we'd be putting in a foot. I assume that plywood is not good enough for that. We'd have to do it into the stud.
I'll have to...
I don't know.
No, I'd have to put a... a blank behind it.
I don't know what that means.
Just like a 2x6, just like any span of 2x6 to put against it to feed the screws into. That's what we did with the other one on the other side.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
No, but that was in the... No, yeah, okay. I thought that was in the tunnel. Okay.
So if we do a 4-foot bar.
Okay, Devin wants to have a blind concrete over that wall.
Blind concrete over what wall?
I assume he means the tunnel. Like you Kong the top of the tunnel, and then it's a blind pre. So 4 feet out would be really far. But maybe not. Oh, Rainier's in the house.
Yo, what up?
Yep. Yeah, Rainier agrees with me a little bit that a lot of torque wouldn't be enough on a blank. I just said that wrong. That a lot of torque would be too much on a blank. There you go. Says the wall to Devin's left. Oh, so you mean a bar cage on the other side of tunnel. Oh, I need to clap and kill a little gnat. Why is there a gnat in the house?
What? Ah!
I'm sorry. I'm trying to get him without clapping loud. He means a blind pre over the wall on top. Oh, sorry, I just made it really blurry. The wall on top of tunnel, I think. So on top of the tunnel platform, you would be Konging the 9-foot wall section of tunnel into a blind pre. Is that what you're saying? No. So your left is in your act. Like if I'm pretending to be you, your left. Nicole's got it. I'm right. So that's what he wants. He wants to stand on the top of the tunnel, and then he wants to Kong over the wall. What is essentially a pony wall.
It's actually
a 9-foot death drop.
It's a pretty big wall to Kong. Not gonna lie.
Cause it's like here.
It's 4 feet. It's a 4-foot wall.
Well, maybe Devin's just got that. But that is a power Kong, yo. Because you can't back up on that. I guess if you could stride through to it on boxes. Devin says it would be terrifying. I'm less excited about putting a semi-permanent bar cage that would essentially negate the run-ups to the city box, so you wouldn't be able to do the 12-foot wall pass, which I think would be sad. But we've also had that ability for a really long time, so justifying taking it away for something could be fine. But also keep in mind that I feel that I'm really prioritizing a bar cage in the window alley. Can you put your cursor where I'm talking about?
Yeah, one moment.
One moment. The window alley, so you can see it through the window, and then that would be like bar cage. And so for class planning, you would not be able to operate multiple classes in both of those spaces. It would be too close. So then you'd be the bar cage hog, and you'd be taking up too much of the gym, or they wouldn't be utilized.
Bar cage hog.
Building it.
Oh.
Rigid clamp or key clamps?
Yeah, there we go.
Key clamps. Cool. Not completely against putting a bar cage on that side. I think it could be interesting. It'd be like 2 bar cages surrounding the tunnel. That could be interesting.
Yeah.
With a pass through, because it's the tunnel. Joel's asking, is a mobile bar cage a possibility? I did mention that. The only way for the mobile bar cages to be more effective and less crazy is to use essentially all of our key clamps, and it's just so many resources.
It is a lot of resources.
What bar is that? How big? 4?
This is a 3-footer.
3 foot. So he's building it at hip height right now.
Whoa.
Don't forget about your tea before it gets cold.
Oh my god, snap was... snap, go away. Oh well.
Let's gotta go up.
And click that, and...
Boop. 3 foot high.
Okay, so now that is 3 foot high. Oh.
Oops.
And it's floating.
It's
stupid.
It's a floater. Got a floater. A lot of outside objects also vibrate, and the number of people have the tool time, more power mindset. A less structural service could be useful in reducing noise, in reducing use. Be sure, maybe. Be sure Josh has at least 1 bar for pole dancing. He does. Jens is like really looking out for him because he has specifically requested a fairly floating bar, which is just really hard to do because it's very difficult to make it structural.
Right.
Because you'd have to do a cross attachment, which he doesn't want essentially. So then we'd be putting a cross attachment very, very low. And then if you get too low, it's like super tripping hazard. You have to have it high enough that people are not silly. Or at least that it's, another way to put that it's more useful for like other purposes and it's not just there. Because we used to do things where we would build the bars to run like pretty much directly on top of the ground and just float a little bit from the key clamps. And then it's just so silly because it's like it's a constant bar to pre, but then you can't ever move it, and then you can't drag a box over it, so it's inconvenient, but then you can't really do anything else to it. So it's like it being slightly higher is more valuable because then littles can do step vaults or underbars on them, and that's cute.
Mm-hmm.
I also don't ever want to come across as negative, but this is what I bring to the table. I'm always the person that's going to dissect everything and figure out what can go wrong. That's just who I am.
It's Devin in a cage.
It's Devin in a cage. Okay. So that corner would lift, and it would put a lot of torque on the bar that I'm not satisfied will be super sturdy on warped wall.
This one?
Yeah.
This one's gonna be fine.
Super sturdy?
Yeah.
So sturdy.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna be able to lift that corner.
What corner?
The corner, this corner. You're gonna be able to literally lift it like how we had in the cage. Do I click in? How do I move?
That's your orbit. So yeah, if you
orbit.
Yeah.
So now how do I go this way? I see. Thank you. Do you remember this cage that went right here?
Yeah.
It literally could lift.
Yeah.
And that's what that is. Just saying.
Okay. Well.
Okay, wait. Good vertical bars would be rad. Devin agrees. Before quarantine, one of our students who's is a really good pole athlete set up a pole for a parkour class. Cool. And we got to learn a lot of really cool tricks to throw into parkour lines. And then Jens is saying, yep, it's really hard. It requires a lot of upper body strength and core strength. Full body strength. Just strength in general. And then Rainier says, with 2 vertical supports underneath it, with 2 vertical supports underneath like that, it would be okay if you put the blank probably. He's agreeing.
I have a great idea.
Oh, he's got an idea. Joel says, that attitude isn't negative, it's necessary. Thank you. Not shooting down dumb ideas is how groupthink corrupts. I'm not shooting down dumb ideas. I'm just creating the most refined final product so that you don't get to that stage and then find out that it has flaws. I'm helping ensure that we have a refined final product.
Interesting. Okay.
There was literally an article about this and how people that are this personality in a group setting are really dissatisfied with having to be that person.
One of these 10-footers.
Okay. Oh, you put a bar on top of TV again? It's been a while
I put it there just to get it out of the way.
Rest in it. It's just taking a break. Now, do you remember, because the height of that will be determined based on where those attachments actually are on the
right. I don't.
So this is a little bit of guesswork because I don't think
Yeah.
we have that data. So on the tunnel that Devin wants the big concrete someday would be a set height that we are sort of fudging right now.
This is intriguing.
Yeah. I mean, that bar, everybody knows is how that orient. Like, we had that bar oriented there again. Would we be able to decide to put it a little bit higher? Should we want to? Or no, because we already have the inserts. It's kind of set.
It's already, well...
no, it's fine.
One of the inserts did come out, so I have to reinstall it anyway.
So we could reinstall another set above it?
Yeah, or we could just... I'm not against drilling into it.
I'm against drilling into it. Okay. That article didn't talk to me. I'll assassinate most plans with glee. Okay, Devin says he likes where the bar cage is going. Keep it up. Keep it up. He didn't say to keep it up. I added that. Can you make those 3-foot verts go all the way up to the high bars? Yeah, absolutely.
What do you mean?
He wants the verticals not to be key clamps, single socket. He would want them to be rigid clamp up all the way to connect with the vertical on top. So he wants the 3-foot bar swapped out for what would essentially be, I guess, probably an 8-foot bar.
I gotcha.
So in doing that, we would be sacrificing the ability to use a key clamp in it for it to be cleaner. So we would be using rigid clamps, which require the tennis balls and the Velcro. possibly only on that one point. And we might be able to do a key clamp on top, but using a key clamp on top is typically a waste because it being that high, it doesn't really matter. So typically on the lower mid-range, it's really nice to have the key clamps so that you can like move and slide on them and not have an object in your way. Or a pointy bolt.
Wow, that's almost perfect.
Yeah. Good job. So it would have to be offset like that because of the rigid clamp.
So this would, whoa.
There. And then that would be a key clamp.
And so this one, yeah, it could be a key clamp, or I mean, this height, I don't really know this height.
That's true. Well,
but
no, we can make that height based on what it needs to be for a key clamp.
Right. We also, this is the shortest of all the 8-foot bars.
Got
so
it.
that's the, yeah, I did that just because. I know for a fact actually that this bar is not 8 feet high because it was connected to the tower.
Right, but we would need to have. Oh no, I guess because he was suggesting that both of the vertical bars be transformed into the higher bar, so we'd have to have 2 bars that fit with the key clamp concept that are the same length. Do you need me to pull up the inventory? You can pull it up.
Jens, yes, you're correct. This does not model clamps. Basically, what the clamp, having to try to navigate around clamps. So basically, the reason why I have this set up the way it is because I attempted at one point in the past to truthfully create bars in SketchUp. SketchUp really doesn't like circular objects. It makes it really hard to manipulate and move stuff around and get them to actually snap to their appropriate platform or plane or wherever you want them to go. And so I got rid of that. And so we don't do anything with rounded objects. You can even see the warped wall is literally not a rounded object. It is built out of, I had to make all of these cuts to it, and then, I mean, it's not even perfect. Like, this is weird, right? But I mean, it is what it is.
It represents what it needs to represent.
Yeah.
It's fine.
It's just a series of segments. So the bars are the correct outside diameter. Those are true to form, but they're tubes, like they're actual square tubes instead of cylinders. And then clamps become a challenge. So basically, if you see a junction that is like this, a key clamp can't do this. A key clamp is an inline clamp or allows a pass-through. There are key clamps that allow you to do this, but why?
Yeah.
they're
really expensive, and you could just do it with a scaffold.
Right. They're quite literally 10 times more expensive than a Cheeseboro clamp. So I'm going to use a Cheeseboro clamp for this. So this is going to be a rigid clamp. It allows for significantly easier maneuverability with the junction that you put up, whereas key clamps are very finicky when you have to have everything so set up with a key clamp. With a junction, junction like this is absolutely a key clamp. There's no way that a rigid clamp could really do this.
Because it would be a 3-way key clamp.
Yeah.
So actually the fact that they're all touching like that is about right.
It is, yeah, because one would go all the way in
there's and up. So
there's a little bit of give here where, like, honestly, it would be
a little less. Yeah.
It's going to be it's going to be like that a little bit because there's a little bit of gapping because of the curve
of the
clamp. But, I mean,
Paul says it's perfectly adequate for what it needs to be represented.
That's exactly right.
Yep.
It's just helping us piece things together, figure out what we want to do, and then obviously, like, you could plan it out, right? You could do your best. Like, we have these, all of our bars were measured to the closest eighth of an inch, like, because sometimes, like, this is a perfect example. This is a 7-foot, 8.5-inch bar. It is not actually an 8-foot bar, but we have it categorized as our 8-foot bars, and sometimes you look at them and you're like, oh, they're 8 feet, and then you actually lay them side by side, you go, oh, that is significantly shorter. And so if you accidentally use a bar and this is the only one left. You're like, oh, an 8-foot bar, cool, I have one left. And then you go to install it, and you go, oh shoot, none of my clamps work for that. It's nice to know that ahead of time and not have that experience when you're trying to put it together.
Although granted, when we build this, it's not going to be, so any other build experience we've ever had has been on a huge timeline, deadline.
That's true.
And this one will not be. We will literally be able to do it over multiple days. So that's nice. As bad as that is, that means that we're closed. At least means we can take our time building.
So for instance, I know that it can't be this tall because this is at least, if that's 8 feet, it would be at least 6 foot down.
What are you talking about? I don't understand what's in your brain.
This bar, I know for a fact, can't be that high.
Why?
Because where it was connected on the city was at least 7.5 feet. This is an 8-foot wall. So that's more likely where it would be.
Okay.
So that could be a single socket if it wants to be.
True. That would be a nice clean corner.
Yeah.
So Devin, were you saying you wanted the other 3 foot to be all the way vertical up high? Then we would attach another bar and it would make more stuff on the top of the tunnel. Is that what you were suggesting?
Yeah, I want some bars up here.
Yeah, because otherwise I feel like it's not getting used really. Then we'd have some pre-opportunities there. That'd be cool.
This is 6 feet.
Okay.
Okay, so we need...
Less than. How many 5 foot?
So we need some 7-footers.
Why?
Because we need a bar over here.
To attach.
Mm-hmm. But then we can also attach the warp wall.
With U-brackets?
Yeah, with strap mounts.
That's what I mean. Saying everything wrong.
So 6-footers can't work. The 7-footers
Devin's confirming what I asked, because then you have 2 bar strides from the big tunnel. Is there anything over there? From big tunnel to... is there anything over there? From big tunnel? No. So in the front of the gym, so we'll call that north. No, we'll call that south, because that's what it is. It's south. Sorry. The south side of the gym used to have a large bar cage that we put up there, and that filled
bar
the
cage was here.
Front space, and we had Wally there, and we've taken it down, and I don't really want to put it back up because in the next iteration of goals, but we don't have the cashola right now, is we're supposed to do the Cubbies. So the goal in the front is to build an L-shaped cubby box so that from the lobby side is where you put your stuff, and they'd be larger than what's there. So my goal is that other than a very full backpack, manage yourself better, you'd be able to put your backpack and shoes in there if you'd want. And then the top would be available for movement. And then we'd be able to build off of it a small bar cage that would be exactly what we need for strength. Because that's really the main purpose of what we used that front bar cage for, was for strength oriented classes and then like laches. So I think that'd be neat to have that would be a semi-permanent, because we could change it, but the cubby would be multifunctional. So from one side, it would be the cubbies that people use for their stuff, and then on the top would be movement only, so you don't put your stuff on it. And then we've built into the design the very far edge of the L, more towards the couches, in front of the trash bins. That would be a 2-level, technically 3. So there'd be 3 areas of a 2-foot section, so it would end up being 6 square feet, which is more than what we had currently to put water bottles and your cell phones on. So that would be a different material topper, so you'd be very clear that that's where you put your water bottle. And then the littles that could hardly reach up there, now they have a lower shelf, so that's perfect. So that would be pass-through shelves at the end of the cubbies. The cubby serves as heavy duty, keeping it sturdy, and then we could build a small bar cage in the front. Okay, stopping talking. You have done this before. SketchUp design followed by in real life construction. Yes. So this is literally, Jens, what we use, and we've used for 5 years now of doing this.
Yeah.
So we've used SketchUp for at least 5 years, building out and designing. So usually in our free time or late at night, we will like just brainstorm, come up with things, do that. Because you're going to see that we're going to blow through this hour so fast and get nothing done because it just takes so long to like decide and implement. So then what we do in SketchUp is we really refine it, make sure that we've thought all the little bits through, plan out literally what clamp goes where. Then we go into the gym, we lay it all out, we like dry, how do you say that?
Dry run?
No, that's not what I want to say, like dry adhere it. So dry run it. We dry run it, and then we do, more permanent. So if we have to drill into a box, we make sure it will actually work before we drill into the box. You could also drop a vertical at the end of that currently floating bar attached to the tunnel's wall.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I just don't know if it's... I don't know if it's a good idea, knowing some of you in chat, to have a bar this tall.
Oh, for a lache.
I mean, we can lock down the lache and make it not possible.
Why? How? What do you mean? How would you do that?
I was thinking like we could start to initiate a connection to the tube if we put a 16-foot bar here instead of a 6-foot bar. The 6-foot bar connects to the outside of the tunnel, but we could still do that while also connecting the tube and starting to lock that down and create the bar cage that would eventually be over this way.
Yeah, I am also a little concerned about having the tube that close to the desk because it's going to kill sight lines, and then you have only security cameras.
I was gonna turn it.
Okay, and then you'll be able to see through it.
Yeah.
That's interesting. That wouldn't be much more of a disaster compared to what the downtown box already does, and then it would still leave room for the bar cage idea and room for the stretching
right
in the front right there. Okay, I'm dry fit. Paul's helping. Yeah, dry fit. That's totally what I wanted to say. Not dry run. Thank you. I'm growing up. I got behind. Pre-opportunities equals pro-opportunities. That was Joel. Yeah, that bar cage was more trouble than it's worth. In the front, I think he's talking about experts. Thanks. Okay, I was going to suggest a long high balance course. This seems to work. Cool. So Joel's also getting his high balance course through these plans.
Access.
I don't know.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Paul says, would it be reasonable to put a bar on that lower level of the tunnel and have it connect to TV box? It'd be a lower, so it can't connect to TV box. So the way that we can connect to TV box right now that makes sense is directly on top, and the TV box is higher. So it wouldn't be able to connect directly to the platform because the platform is lower. So we'd have to drop something somewhere. And then because the cutouts, we wouldn't be able to run it past the cutout because so do you remember the little underbars that you grab to like go underbar into the TV box? Those are set connection points, and we have another one below the cutouts as well. So we can do on top, we can do on top or below the cutouts, and then we can do verticals off the wall like how he just showed. Because we have to do the strap mounts into my line. We can't run it this way. We wouldn't want to run it this way because of the way the strap mounts would have to work. Yeah. So we can't run, if this is TV box, we can't run a bar this way on the long edge. We can only run them vertical on the long edge. To go horizontal, it has to be along the face with the cutouts, or on top. So the top is, yep, I'm reiterating a lot, and he already says he sees. Cool. Zip.
But again, this is a tall bar.
Oh, and lache. Lache. Lache.
Lache.
It's French.
This is a tall bar. I don't know.
He's nervous because he doesn't want anybody doing silly things that they shouldn't. And having huge swing that results in huge peel out and huge drop for huge head splat. Am I correct?
Yeah, it's nearly 11 feet high.
That's very high. Like, they have that at the Monkey Ball, and it makes me really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But they're also in Canada with Canada's insurance laws, so keep that in mind. Canada is not the U.S. Devin is liking it. 10-foot lache to double fly away to floor.
Oh, it's 10 feet.
Okay, it's 10 foot, so there you go. You get your 10-foot lache.
I don't know. That's still pretty big.
And then I'm being devil's advocate in a not negative against the idea way. Then it makes me think of people that are tall that literally, like Ben Vincent, that still can't lache on the 8-foot bars fully. He has to tuck his feet. So it's like, what's the percentage of the population that would then get to experience the fullness of the lache that I experience on an 8, that's adequate for me on an 8-foot bar would be a nearly, 10-foot bar for him.
Yeah. Okay, wait, this can work. Well, I mean, not this.
Jens, you speak French too? I didn't know. That's cool.
This can work. So if I bring this over.
Je suis là. I'm not gonna try. Sorry.
Je suis un ananas.
Allez, I don't know. I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to do that either. I don't want to bastardize it, so I will refrain. Got the Germanic tongue.
Oh, weird. Where are you?
Artifact. It's a fly.
Oh, you're the label. I was like, what is happening?
Oh, it's the label's going into the wall.
Yeah.
Something else that we want to do too is buddies of ours didn't want their squat rack in their home. And so they said, let's just have the gym use it for the unforeseeable future. And if we change our minds, we'll let you know. And so we do have a second squat rack that we delayed. I can't even remember. We had the big event in January, and then we had another big pop-up event that was very laborious for Charlie and I to do in February. And then of course we understand what happened in March. So like literally right before all of this happened, on the back burner was to put up this squat rack. But then with everything that had kept happening, we were just like so burnt out. And then we know what happened. So moral story, we want to put a second squat rack up. It is a full cage, which is nice. However, it takes up a lot of space. And so I would like the full cage to be the closest to the lobby, in the lounge area, and then the half cage to be closer than it is right now to the I-beam, like kind of where the whiteboard is. And then we'll have to figure out a new thing for the whiteboard. He is against, I don't remember if it was Rainier. Was it Rainier? No. It might have been Bill. Somebody suggested, so this whiteboard is fantastic because it's magnetic, and you cannot get whiteboards this size that are magnetic anymore. So it is literally so heavy. It's like a piece of sheet iron. What is it made out of? The whiteboard.
The whiteboard?
Yeah.
It's just sheet metal.
Sheet metal.
It's probably just, it's steel.
It's steel. So it's gigantor, and it's so heavy that it requires multiple people to move it. And to mount it, I'm nervous about it. And so we can't mount it directly onto the cinder block because the conduit runs. And so we had a suggestion of building out a frame with 2x4s that puts it off the wall just a bit, and then you can route it out and make room for the conduit, so then that can get properly like lagged in to the not sheetrock, cinder block wall.
It's really hard to move them out.
Sorry. To the cinder block wall, and then that way it exists up. But it might be too heavy. I literally think it's too heavy. Because then we also have a mirror. We'd like to have a mirror. Oh, okay.
Okay, so this is a 7-foot bar. Oh no, so, well, 8 foot high, but 7 foot long.
Oh,
And that
Joel's
means that
Joel's trying to help me remember what events we did, and we did the massive tag game in February. No, that was not laborious. That was just I guess it was laborious. No, I'm talking about we did an event in a school on early to mid February, I think. Yeah, and so we brought vault boxes and an entire pop-up cage, put it in a double, so like, you know how the classrooms are double wide and then they'll have like a sliding divider to create 2 classrooms. So we got 2 classrooms instead of 1. We took over the whole thing, and then we had throughout the day, it was the Ideas Fest, Festival of Ideas. That's what it was called. And we just had kids come through and do parkour workshops, and it was really fun, and it was like literally the most popular workshop offered, and we ended up having to turn a lot of kids away, which was really sad, but a lot of the older kids got to do it, and that was really cool. But literally, Charlie and I got there, built it in like 2 hours, 3 hours, I think we took us, and then we did 4 hours of workshops back to back with literally 5-minute intermissions, and then tore it down, and then we went straight to Muller's, got pizza, and not Muller's, straight to Nine Maidens, got pizza, and drank like 3 beers. It was delicious. It was really hard. So we did that, and then early in January was the grand reopening. Womp womp. Oh, keep shaking his arm.
Earthquake! Earthquake!
I'm fulfilling. I didn't realize that it would do that on the screen. I'm being the annoying goose. Sorry. My bad.
I don't like this. I don't like this here.
Tell us how you really feel. I also agree. I think that like although it's kind of interesting for like strides across.
I don't know. I don't think it's long. It's too big.
It's too big. Okay, so I think.
That's
Are
huge.
you saying what you don't like is having the orientation of downtown matching the orientation of?
Yeah, I think I hate it.
Okay.
It would need. I also don't entirely remember where the connection points on the tube are. But if the two.
They're like thirds, remember, or fourth. There's quarters because they were built around the. What am I trying to say? The ladder.
Right.
The ladder attachment. Yikes and delish. Oh, yikes. It was hard. Delicious. Nine Maidens. Yeah. Paul says it was also sounded tough. Thank you. Thank you for your support. So anyway, I'm excited to be able to make. Was I loud?
Oh, something just texted me or something. I don't know.
I'm excited to be able to do this build out without the inevitable. Oh my gosh, classes are gonna start in half hour. Hurry up! And it's so stressful, and you just are like, you never get done. We would even just say
It's true. We never get done.
This is part 1. We're expecting to get part 2 done, and then in a hopeful, amazing world that never has happened, here's part 3. So like the plan of the phases, and then inevitably we rush, chaos, and we're still, you've seen it on a Monday. We're in there, and it's like already past adult movement circuits, getting ready for acro, and we're still finishing up.
Can you set TV box to be an actual line of sight for the desk?
Yeah, that's what.
What is it? What does that mean?
How? So I agree that I like the TV box in a 90-degree orientation from what it is now. However, it seems silly to have it mirror the orientation of the tunnel and the downtown. But where it is right now that you've done, you've just destroyed sightlines. You've just made it to where you can't see on that side, and that you'd have to refer to the security camera to do it. And I don't like that because it's like not giving good sightlines to things happening on the 7-foot wall of the city and other things. I don't love it.
Yeah.
It like creates like a nook of despair.
A nook of despair. Oh no.
It looks
Okay,
off angle
so
compared
in
to
that
everything
case-
else, he says, but it'll be interesting to deal with, and the holes line up perfectly with the desk.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Oh, I don't know what he's saying. I don't know what he's saying. Is he saying what I was saying?
He wants it to, so that you can see through it from the desk. I think that's what he's saying.
Right, but that would be the orientation that mirrors.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
downtown.
yeah.
And so, what I agree with you, but I feel like having the TV box, downtown, tunnel all be like juddy things all in one direction seems strange. Okay, Rainier, I have the perfect solution. Just put giant mirrors on the ceiling. But then, remember the conduit, so we can't mount mirrors. Also, can you imagine how many little fingers and that people run into the walls? Like literally we had holes in the walls from people doing this in the old space, so thank goodness it's cinder block. But I'm like nervous to put mirrors on the walls and then boxes hit them and they break. And then with the conduit, you'd have to literally float them. So there'd be like edges sticking off of glass. And then you'd have to frame them to make them not glass. And then it would just get ridiculous. Okay. Joel's back to glass box idea. Don't forget the pink champagne on ice. Rainier gets it, yeah. Also, the ceilings are so tall. It would be like you need binoculars to look up in the mirrors on the ceilings to see. Joel's back to mirrored boxes now instead of glass. And they would be a fun house. And then you'd have that moment of like, boom. Oh no. Like, just kidding. I just tickle myself. Okay. Did you abandon TV box on that side idea, or am I just not understanding the... Oh no, I get it. That's downtown at the top. Okay. Still blocks. So like right now, the front desk is set to where
I'm
when you...
not gonna move
Okay,
it.
okay. Because I like being able to see the back door from the desk, always, from the bathroom, for the bathrooms. I don't want to take that away, which is why I like the bar cage idea, because then it would be coming off of downtown, which would be structural, but then you would see through it. Do you guys have any plans to eventually build even taller now that you have more space? One thing I loved about Apex is that it was extremely vertical. Louisville, sorry. R.I.P.
I don't know. I think the issue that I have with the height that came into play with Apex is how permanent it is. And I don't know what they did underneath all of that wood. Like I remember they had that weird like
Loungy.
Well, I don't know. So we've never been to Louisville.
Oh right, I'm thinking of the other.
We went to it when it was in Boulder, and that's what I'm thinking of. God, can you imagine moving that?
No, it probably wouldn't ever be. I'm imagining that they would never do that. So...
I don't know how it's possible.
Yeah. So even like the tunnel box, spoiler alert, in the future, not near future, after everything we've just been through, probably like, we're talking years from now. Hopefully. Let's get there first. But the tunnel box, we would really like to saw in half so that it can be aligned that way, or it can be split apart and reoriented. because it being the massive structure that it is just so limiting. It creates the angles that it creates the jut-offs that it creates, blah, 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 blah. So pretty much what we'd be doing is taking off the platform section and the 8-foot section. Is it 8 feet or 9 feet? This side? That's 8 feet?
This?
Yeah.
Tall?
Yeah.
8 feet.
Yeah. So we'd be taking off the 8-foot roof and then the platform with the Kong wall, and then we would finish them out, and then they could be reoriented and like perpendicular to each other. How about a poorly constructed mezzanine for shoot that? Be sweet. No. I caught myself. Didn't say it out loud. I really like the tall vertical bar with the little mini cage where the Devon is. The Devon.
Right here?
Jens is feeling left out with the inside joke. Can I type it? Is that appropriate if I type it instead of say it, or does it matter?
It's fine to talk about it.
You talk about it then. I don't want to talk about it.
There was a gym in San Diego. I'm sure they're still in litigation, but there was a gym in San Diego that was a part of a very large warehouse, very similar to how our warehouse is set up, but not this way. Essentially, it was controlled. It was controlled by the city. Like the warehouse was owned by the city, but then they leased it out to a different company, and then that company essentially created subleases and allowed all these businesses to come in. And so there was very loose management of what was happening inside the warehouse, and the people that were running this gym in San Diego built this mezzanine without contractors or architects. Built a mezzanine that was not rated to hold as many people as they would constantly have on it. And one night they were doing like a Friday night, I don't know, drop your kids off and we'll feed them a lot of pizza and soda and do whatever. They had 30 kids in this like Friday night parents' night out kind of thing. And then when pizza was served, they were like, pizza! And all the kids ran to get pizza on the mezzanine, and the mezzanine collapsed. And then what ended up happening, pretty much every kid was sent to the hospital. And what ended up happening from there was they found out that all of this warehouse was completely mismanaged. And I'm sure a personal injury attorney was like, it was like a dream for them. I don't know what I want to do here.
Also, I feel like the squat rack has 20 million little peggies, and we only have 3.
I got it from the internet.
Oh, okay.
So I did.
So many weights. Okay, so I feel like.
So this bar can't exist.
Correct, because it's not structural.
So I either need to scrap this idea,
or we put the TV box that close and mount it to the edge of, like, put the TV box all the way against it.
I don't.
You don't like
want to.
You don't want to make it that tight.
I don't want to.
Okay.
I would need more bars to go out this way. Like, we would need a
considerable
cage.
Which I'm not thrilled about, because then the cage should be back here more. Like, the 7-foot wall of this city needs to be accessible, because we have to be able to take... Oh, FYI, for people that don't know. Can you go to that area? Devin knows this.
What area?
The city 7-foot access panel. So this side of the city is literally removed, and we use the entire inside of the city for storage for all of our wood equipment and extra building equipment. So, like, all of our materials. So that wall cannot be locked down. We have to be able to take it off. So if we build a cage off of downtown, we have to contend with that fact. Mm-hmm. Meaning that it would not be optimal to put the cage more towards the back. it would end up bleeding into the middle. So we'd essentially have two cages right by each other. And I think that that's not the best use of space. So we have to get creative on how to accommodate the fun bars off of tunnel without competing with that other cage. Jens is saying he's waiting for the disaster movie to be made. I can already tell where that's going. Oh boy, says Rainier. Yep. We like to avoid moments like that. Are you switching gears and thinking about that cage now?
I'm trying to do something that makes me like this.
Tell us how you really feel.
Just say it. Wow, that's so like
Long?
Huh. I thought, yeah. So that is overkill. Okay, that's interesting. Interesting.
Where's the 12 foot? Are we using it already?
No.
So do the 12 foot.
Even that's too long. But what I'm saying is if we, cause like what if this goes
also,
up?
oh, you were talking about the story. I forgot to say hi, Michelle, if you're still watching.
Yay.
I don't get as quick to realize that Facebook has commented, so then I don't see it. I'm sorry. Wait, what were you saying?
So
Pretty sure the vertical isn't there. It's farther back.
move anyway.
Okay. Whoa, to put this in perspective, it's already nearly 7. Keep that in mind. How did that happen? No wonder I have to go to the bathroom. It's been there now. I'm like, I want to crawl out of the couch.
Okay, so that works. Goes up.
That's cool. But it would be not, you'd need, I don't.
Oh, I know. Yeah, we would need so much
Exactly.
to lock it down.
But could the cage that we're talking about making off of downtown stabilize that floating corner?
Maybe.
Because that could be a nice synergy.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of force on that bar.
Yes. Because we have the other connection on the other side of the downtown, and we could do what is essentially was already there, that little weird short cross, remember, with the 2-foot bar? Or that little boop, you know what I'm talking about? Mm-hmm. Put another vertical on that side of the downtown and then run that slight angle with the 2-foot. And then that would branch out, but that's still a really big angle, so then we'd have to have something.
It needs a 90.
Right.
Yeah.
But on the other side is what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
And then it could be part of the cage that we're thinking about making.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so recap. We want to try and have a vertical bar for Josh. We want to try and have...
Josh. Yeah. Ah, Colleen is blowing up my phone.
Colleen, you should be watching the live stream, not asking us questions about Resolve. Where are you? Okay. Recap. Pull for Josh. 5-foot underbar kaplowers for Joel. Bloomers for Joel. Bad Force Ideas. Finally saw Star Wars 4. No, that's 9. Sorry. Finally saw Star Wars 9. Which is which one? Isn't it going the other way? Oh no. It is.
What?
Mine would be... Which one was the one that was the one he's referring to? The one with...
Like the most recent Star
I
Wars?
can't say anything because it would be a spoiler. Okay. I'm focused. Vertical bar. 5 foot underbar. Hip high, bar cage, accessible to make Italian jobs. Great. Which is...
That's his bar.
Yeah. Totally.
There's gonna be so much movement there. I love this section right here. I'm really digging this. This is cool.
Yeah.
This is the only part that I'm really excited about.
I
right
still
now.
think, I mean, sorry, not to be a Debbie Downer, but that floating corner is still going to be a problem.
Less so with this.
You think that that corner with that big of a span, because there's no vertical drop there.
Oh, I was gonna put another one. I'm
okay.
sorry. Yeah.
Then that's beautiful.
Yeah. I'll do that right now.
Also, Devin was saying that he liked the idea of there being a second. So right now on the top of the tunnel, the previous design, there's only one low bar. And if we had two, there would be pre's. Bar to bar pre. And an underbar down through. Could be interesting, or a climb up. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that would just serve to make all, and then you don't have to have it overhang if you don't want to. It could be cleaner that way. It could just run down the side again.
Okay, give me one moment.
Too many directions.
And then
Jens says both directions. I don't know what that's referring to. Maybe the Italian job. Movement in both directions in that side of the cage. Both directions of Star Wars. But help me do the recap so that, because at some point we're going to end the live stream and I want to make sure that we're taking your desires for movement into consideration while we're finalizing. So 5 foot underbar. I believe Devin was really for the 2 floating bars on top of the tunnel platform. So for like strides and pre's up across to the highest platform of the tunnel.
Whoa.
Devin contributed quite a lot to this cage, the Devin cage currently, where the Devin is standing. What else? What else are we missing, folks? Of desires, burning desires of movement.
That would be pretty stable.
That would be really stable. And so then you do another one, like how that one's just floating, and then drop the vertical along the edge again. You don't want that?
It would need a connection.
Oh, because it would be a floating corner. I'm silly. I'm sorry. I still think that's going to be crazy and move too much, especially since you're literally asking people to jump at it. That's why we had a bar going that way.
I mean, we could effectively just put that one back up. We could redo.
Yeah, but then you can't do... I like how from the tunnel right now, you can like reach, grab, and do a turn swing. So can we do it? Can I have a mask? Can you make it the not rotational? Oh, it's ready. I don't think people... What if we put a bar here? Or does that ruin that floating corner for you? Because that could be a 3-way clamp. Oh no, it's right now. It's a single socket.
You're gonna run into the work wall issue.
How do you make it a rotation? What are you pushing so that I don't have to ask you to?
Oh, for orbit.
For orbit.
Orbit.
I see.
Yeah. There's nothing to connect to.
Darn. So, whoa, what'd I do? Okay. I pushed, oh, that's for orbit. What's the other one?
H. Hand.
Ah. Oh. This is what we're talking about. So the fact that we can't send a bar from this point because it literally has nothing to attach to. Poop. So then that can't get resolved. I still think that this bar is going to move a ton when you jump at it. Believe that I will be correct. But I love this floating corner gear, and I don't want to ruin it by doing another cross, because I think that openness is really neat. So then either we'd have to come across here. So why not drop? Oh, I don't know what buttons I'm pushing. Oh, the ivy. not as fast at this, I'm sorry. Okay, why not drop a bar here onto tunnel and then connect it across here. So it's like a cage lifted. Do that. And then that would be way more stable on that bar. And then you'd have the floating bar, like how Devin was saying, could be cool. So you could do stride across, you could do a pre, you could do a freaking scary pre the other way towards the back of the gym. The goose has total control!
What is happening?
Because I took over. Okay. Okay, can we get height transfers on railings? Like balance height transfers, so step ups? Is that what you're talking about? Rise of Skywalker. Thank you, Jens. Oh, that's very helpful. 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3.
7, 8, 9.
7, 8, 9. Yeah. Thank you. I automatically reorient the proper 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in my brain, and then I forget how many have there been since then. And there's already been 3, so I guess maybe we haven't seen the last one, actually.
That's very likely.
I don't think we've seen 9. No spoilers. I'm still waiting to hear back from Joel about like 2-foot bars to 4-foot bars to 6 to 8. So he wants height variations in the cage corners that I would believe would enable height transfers. I think that's what I'm understanding of that. We're not really giving you that with this cage right now. Hopefully we could try and give that to you in the cage off of downtown, because I envision that cage having not being taller than 8 feet and sort of representing, what am I trying to say? It would like replace what we had in the front, but not be as big. It would be more layered and busy. So it would hopefully do that. Oh, he's bad at the height transfers. Hip mobility. Single leg presses. You can practice that by buying a 3rd bar. If you elevate the 2 bar, oh no, you have the 2 bars, so that should work. If you elevate one of your bars in a safe way, then you could balance on your bar on the floor and practice the step ups and the press and the guides down, and you could switch sides on the bar. Hope I explained that clearly. You can practice that at home right now. You would just need to elevate your bar 2 feet off the ground, which would essentially be a chair, so chair height. Just make sure it's stable. Okay. You're in concentration phase.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah, thank you. I know you need info on the bar shipping. I don't know what my excuse is. Oh no, I know what my excuse is. We had to switch gears. Like literally you asked the night of us having to switch gears and focus on getting ready for the corrugated. So I will send myself an email to do that and then put it in my to-do list. I'm just gonna give you spoiler alerts. So I don't know the numbers yet. Likely the numbers to ship the full bars is going to be very high. Doable, but very high. Another option that requires more work on their end is for them to source the bar, the 3-foot length bar, or in that case they could even choose a 6-foot or 5-foot length bar, whatever length bar they want, and we would assemble, create, and have the kit of the feet. And all I would need to do is have a ratchet set to put the feet on. So that is another option, and that would drastically lower the cost of the shipping, because the bar is so heavy and so large. But I'm planning on giving you both of those options, and then you can decide what's best fit for the family.
This
Can't work, is probably what you're about to say.
it's not as easy to make it work.
Why? Because that would be wait, we only have one pass through.
So
No. no. Single sockets across, so it would be slightly inset from the edge.
Well, so this is what I'm saying. So I can attach a bar with straps to this front, and that would be super easy to do. This face is more of a pain to do, but possible. Like, obviously, I'm going to be putting a key clamp there to attach it to the face. Those are strap mounts. This is strap mounts. That's strap mount there, because doing it on this face is a whole stud there, so that's easy to tie into. But if I do it here, it has to be in the middle between this 1 foot span,
right?
Or whatever
so
it is,
then
6
it
feet.
has to be a scaffold clamp.
And that means that it won't line up with this.
Oh no.
So
no,
I need.
But then do a single socket to go across from the horizontal to horizontal, single sockets connecting.
But we don't.
However, we would have to have an exact length bar.
That's yeah. That's what
Duh.
I'm saying. Which we might
Measure it, and see.
It's 8 feet.
Exactly.
I would have made this 8 feet, and I don't know if that's exactly true.
So what's the shorter 8? Hold on, I need to do what I told Joel and make my email. What's the shorter 8-foot bar? 7, 8.5 is the shortest.
What are you measuring right now? What is happening? Oh, here we go.
Okay, I'm sending myself the email.
This is claiming that it's 7 foot and a 16th inch. Maybe I actually measured it. Did I actually measure it? 7 foot and a 16th. That's so random.
What's the option that you're referring to? My friend's fiance. Oh, carpentry. Okay. Ha! Thanks for answering my question. So he's saying that the foot package idea only, and that they get the bar might be the best plan for them.
I think so as well.
I think so too. I will price it out, absolutely. But I think it's going to be exorbitant. It would be like you could have more bars created for that cost. Bar trainers created for that cost. Okay, I'm focused. I'm sending the email to myself. Action item. In the subject line. Do this now!
Do it now!
Okay. Send. Done. You should be able to explore the layout in virtual reality. That would be cool!
You sort of can.
No, but like actually Joel's VR set?
Oh.
Like literally can you access computer files on your VR? Or does it not work that way? Jens says yes. I don't know if that's answering, and maybe Jens has a VR set. Oh, cool! So if you had a VR set, you could pretend to be at the gym! Yay! Everybody just do this.
We're running. Ah! Ah! Ah!
Oh, Jens says, but you'd need a program that understands it. Oh, that's the kitchenette we still never got because they're not able to keep promises, apparently.
Yeah.
Doors look so big in that perspective without the actual door in the frame. Like, the frame is so large.
What was I doing?
Right here it goes, whoa.
Okay, so we go 7-footer.
I have to go potty, y'all. We gotta end the stream soon.
Stuff takes so long. Okay, so it's not exact. I don't know if this is exactly correct, but apparently this wall is a very odd dimension, which it makes me feel like I must have measured it. Because it's listed as 7 feet and a 16th inch.
So, yeah, absolutely.
Like, I must have measured it and added it in.
Right.
So that means that one of our 7-foot bars, an exact 7-foot bar,
Would
maybe not.
So this is the moment of we're going to design this
know.
entire idea with the hope that when we come to putting it together with the key clamps, that it magically works. And when it doesn't, then it's like the whole idea is screwed. And then we have to figure out how to make it structural. And then it ends up being dissatisfying because we have to put bars where we didn't want to originally put them.
It's like there's always a void in key clamps.
Right.
So this could possibly function.
I think that would be neat because it would create interesting layers off of the tunnel that I enjoy. And then I think that it would create cool strides. The only thing that we're not getting there is Joel's idea of like the 2-foot level changes for a lot of weird level height changes for balance.
Yeah.
Yeah. Typically that's because that would require us to have like a 6-foot height bar, and that's such an awkward height. It ends up, it's like too high for a lot of things and then too low for swinging, so then it ends up just being the bar that we use to do laches for the kids class. That's pretty much it. I feel like 6 foot is probably the least common because it's so limited.
I think
like
5 feet actually.
5 feet?
5 feet is weird.
Okay. 6 foot's nice for underbars for
Yeah.
adults.
I mean, I love 5-foot bars. 5-foot bars make for really good underbars, but
When
you
got
run
powerful
into them.
abs. True. Kathy. Hi, Kathy. Oh, cool. Offering a realistic view option to walk around with and works well with SketchUp. Oh, SketchUp 3D Warehouse has key clamp fittings.
No way.
You just blew our minds.
Component. Wow, check that out.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. How do we not know that? Did we just never look? Or maybe is that newer and then we used it when that didn't exist? And then we just never looked after?
Normally when it downloads, it should show up right away.
Okay, with this new discovery, I need to go to the bathroom now. Bye, break.
What?
I gotta crawl out of the little... Okay, we're making it happen.
It's claiming it's there. It's not there.
Okay, I'll be back.
You liar. Weird. It's like literally not showing up. Normally you download something and it gets added instantly. Like it should be on my cursor right now, but I don't actually see it. And like if I place it, it's now claiming it's on the face on tunnel, but it is definitely not there. It's a liar. It's lying to me. But yeah, this is really cool though. Yeah, it's nice that people actually go through. The only issue, it's like the sizing would be different, and obviously with me doing the bars the way I am, it doesn't entirely make sense to take the time to do all of the key clamps and like import them, put them exactly where they go. But it is nice if you are doing something more precise than this. Like this is just kind of idea generation. If you're doing something more precise with key clamps, then yeah, definitely. This is a huge time saver. That's fantastic. Yeah, they've got, yep, single socket. Very cool. I dig it. Two-way pass-through, super cool. Thanks, people on the internet. You all are amazing. Did anybody end up downloading the SketchUp file and finding out if you can import it into your own account. Because it would also be cool if if you're just playing around with the SketchUp model as it is in your own time, and you create something and you're like, this is fun. If you send it over to us, like that's an easy way of just kind of putting out ideas. I still don't know what I want to do.
For several years, so it was totally that when we first started using it, they didn't have them.
Sure, yeah.
I'm so regretful we haven't looked sooner.
I don't think it doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense?
It doesn't make sense.
I wasn't listening, I was in the bathroom.
It's fine.
I'll get caught up and not bore everybody later. That's fine.
If you're doing something very specific, then yes, it does make sense. It does not make sense for what we're doing.
Why?
Because these are inherently not Rails anyway. And
oh,
yeah.
I don't understand how that actually.
I also don't know, what is a 10? We're size 7. Inch and a quarter is size 7.
Oh, so they might not be correct.
The only other thing is that it's literally not. It's not. Oh, is this one working? Yay! This one works. So why did the flange not work?
Because it was being silly. Single Saga to the rescue, or maybe it got hidden in the wall, like you just did. You just put it in the wall?
It didn't. But
maybe it got absorbed into the wall. She says sometimes the insertion point is out of whack. Looks like we're having issues. Uh-oh. Oh no. Silly.
Let's try again. Oh, it's actually crashed.
Oh no, well I guess that's the end of the stream.
No! SketchUp! I mean, it did save, so that's nice.
Did it?
Yeah.
Okay, good. You're gonna try and open it again?
Yeah. Oh, golly. Oh, golly.
Yeah, well, it's broken.
Oh, no. We're gonna
stop.
just draw and box it.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Okay. So
oh, it's totally busted.
Last chance. Get it while you're here. Tell us what you want to see, so we keep it in mind while we're building the final layouts. We'll also post iterations as we get closer in Discord for sure.
There we go.
Once we get an element solidified, so for example, this Devon cage is an element, then we will build it without waiting. It's not like we have to figure out every aspect of the gym. If it's something that we're really satisfied with, we're not going to decide to pilfer a bar from it in order to make it work somewhere else.
Yeah, this is
you're liking
effectively complete.
Yeah.
This is great.
Awesome.
I really dig what this has created. It's super sturdy, and it does not use that many bars.
Awesome.
That can get built so fast.
Cool.
Everything else is like I don't even know if I like this idea.
Well, it's not finished because right now the column would column would torque, and then that would be a problem. Sorry, that's probably really loud.
All good. Yeah.
So we'd have to come off of it in a perpendicular way.
Yeah, we're gonna need to really think about this area. This is something that we've wanted for a while, but I don't know.
It's been difficult, which is honestly why we didn't build something out there to begin with. Otherwise, if like these ideas would have been easy to accommodate, we would have done it already.
I hate having this duplicate orientation.
I know. And I don't want it in the back corner where it's been. So it needs to end up here, or it needs to end up in the front quadrant.
Like over this way?
Yeah.
Oh, man. I mean, I guess I'm not against that.
Yeah, because the warped wall is already such a blockade.
Whoa.
What?
Oh,
What's happening?
I know what happened.
What?
We are literally in a key clamp.
What?
We are literally inside a key clamp. That's why it failed. We're inside the key clamp. Look at this.
I didn't know.
That's where the key clamp went.
It's everywhere.
It's massive.
Why?
I don't know. It's so big. This is amazing. I can't believe this.
Excuse me.
Okay, well, bye.
Okay. So it was like overloading it. It was so big.
Overloading.
Oh my gosh.
That rules. That's incredible. I love it.
So does that cause problems with weightlifting? Because in the two cages.
Yeah, a little bit.
Because then it creates a narrower path that would encourage people. Or we could just literally train the kids you are not allowed to walk on this side when they go to and from classes. They literally have to go around every time, which means that they'll only do it 5 times out of 10. So we would be shifting the current weight cage, which is representing a full squat rack. It would shift to the right of itself, and our half rack would go between the I-beam and that cage, I think. We haven't done it yet, and we don't know if the feel will be too close. We want to make sure two people could do squats at the same time and it not feel crowded, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Because literally, otherwise I don't know where we would put that other weight rack. It's like we could float the half rack between the lobby. Like instead of against a wall, we could put it literally floating. You don't like it?
Not really.
I feel like it would be awkward. I mean, I don't know if I would care. It'd be like, get ready to do your squats. You're like, doing it, staring down the parents.
Yeah, that would be really.
That would be a
little weird.
I wouldn't care. I end up, to keep my chin right, I'm looking like down a little bit anyway. So, whatever. Or it could be like part of it. You kind of stare them down.
This would be an interesting cat to cat.
Cool. I like that. And it's not really...
We haven't really had one of those in a while.
Still, I mean, devil's advocate, it's still an issue of sightlines now.
What?
It's not like the sightlines that way are that great anyway, so. From the desk.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. It creates less of a dead space. Classes end up not being done over there because there's not, it's like so open, you have to use so many items.
Exactly, yeah.
Thoughts on this location for the TV box, humans? Let's hear it.
feel like the back corner's so open now. But I guess technically we haven't input Johnny 5. There's also the sleeping 6-foot that we can attach stuff to. So for instance, if we move this guy over.
That I was reading.
I still feel like this is really open.
I don't want the column there again. It's been there.
Oh, I know. Well, it's not the column.
Oh, sleeping 6-foot.
Yeah.
I'm caught up.
How did you get so screwed up? That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna put you up there. Go.
Yeah, I like it oriented that way better.
Something like that.
Yeah. I like that. Good jump opportunities, and it's not so. It doesn't bother me to be the same orientation as downtown because it's not as big of. It's not so big.
Mm-hmm.
Somehow going in the opposite direction of scale, it doesn't bother me. I don't know why. I guess because it doesn't take up so much floor space without newness.
Yeah.
It'd be good for Nerf.
It'd be cool if this could line up.
With
and then
it?
like a 16-footer could just go across.
Where? I don't understand.
If so for instance, if this 16-footer weird. Oh. Whoa. So if this were to go this way. See what I'm saying, man?
So big. I feel like that would not be stable. It's such a big span. I guess maybe it could be stable.
It's a 7-foot span. That's 7 feet. 7 feet. 2 strap mounts.
And then that's the outer edge corner of the cage that we'll build in the hall.
Yeah.
Okay, I dig it. Sweet. So then there's open floor space in front of the window, which is good. We need that. And then there's still a run up. What's the run up that we usually have been challenging ourselves with for the 12-foot? A little bit farther than that.
A little bit farther.
So that's not great. It takes that away, but we've had it for this whole time. So maybe it's okay to lose it.
They
for a
should have
while.
gotten their 12-foot runs in when they had the chance.
I know Paul's wanting to work on big jumps, so I think he's going to be okay with it.
Ah.
I'm getting hungry, y'all.
Yeah, me too.
This is good progress.
Yeah. You see how long this takes?
It takes a long time.
It's just like... Oh, man. This is not. That whole side. I don't know what to do with that whole side.
I don't love, actually, the way this looks from the... It's, like, so cluttered.
It's so cluttered.
Yeah. I don't want...
That's why I want that over here, because it balances it out a little bit.
Yeah, but then it blocks views from everything. It makes it just like a wall. Not like a wall. It makes it a wall. And that will look like butt for through the window.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's our #1 advertiser.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Where do we put the TV box? Tube foiled us yet again.
Okay, well, if anyone's inspired to play around with it,
Put it on Discord.
put it on Discord. Let us know. Yeah.
Live chat says it's unavailable. Why?
I don't know.
That's dumb.
Go to YouTube.
Did it kick us off? Shoot.
You did just close that tab.
What tab?
Like, you closed the Windows tab. Or the YouTube tab.
Just Inception.
Weird.
No chat.
Yeah. What's
So if
going
you've
on?
been talking to us and we've been ignoring you, that's why.
Yeah, why is it not working on your computer?
I don't know.
Huh.
There's not like a stream time limit, right?
Well, there's no stuff over there either.
I know. Refresh.
Weird.
Refresh.
Oh.
Okay.
Huh. It like broke.
Oh, there we go.
How strange. All right. Well, I think we're gonna call it. If for nothing else, having this is nice, but like, y'all, look at this. This is how many bars are left over.
So honestly, we can't store that many in the city box. So
Right.
like we have to build with them.
We have to use the 16 footers.
Yeah, because they can't go anywhere.
So granted, what's probably gonna end up happening?
The 16 footers will go over here.
We're gonna build like some cage over this way, probably like a hip high cage.
Yeah, with
I'm
the
thinking
16
way
bars.
over here, yeah.
That would be, and then it can literally attach fully to the downtown.
Yeah, I think I want to put Wally on a slant. I think I want Wally on like a really shallow slant.
Yes.
And that would help out by anchoring down one of the free floating bar cages. So that would be a good idea.
Like put him up on, like slant him onto a hip high bar.
Sort of, yeah.
That would be cool.
Yeah. All right, so we've
got some ideas.
Yeah, we've got ideas.
Cheers.
Mine's empty.
Mine too.
But yeah, thanks y'all.
Be like in the movies.
Yeah. Thanks for joining. Thanks for giving us your ideas. We're gonna keep hitting this, and if we as we get new ideas, since we probably won't be stealing one of our stream times for this again, I'll just take screenshots. I'll post them up on Discord. Feel free to let us know what kind of ideas you have there.
But this stream helps put everybody in the mindset to help fully interpret and provide good input for it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So super cool. Oh, Sunday we're streaming 2:00. It's a workout. It's a really straightforward strength circuit. It's gonna be awesome. We'll see you then.
Cool.
Woohoo!
Alrighty.
Bye.
Bye.